This video is exactly how to make $20,000 plus per month with a remote home service business without knocking doors, using Angie's List or crap marketing agencies. Let's get to it. I'm just going to move my face around. There we go. So after this training, you're going to be able to use evergreen Facebook ads to get as many leads as you need. You're going to be able to outsource the work, never need to be any particular place again. Grow your business as you see fit, whether that's $5,000, $10,000, $20,000, $30,000, or even $40,000 plus per month. Literally, you could, once the math works out, you can figure out exactly how much you need to make, and you could simply use it to pay the bills and start something new. We got guys working full-time jobs. We got guys just using this as the next step to, build their drop shipping empire or whatever it is. But this is going to pay the bills. This is one of the best ways, the quickest ways you can start making money. And just some quick screenshots / proof that this works. Here's some of the guys inside my group. Here's a job we did last month for almost $7,000. Here's Gavin. And here in January, 17 grand for the first half of it. We got Pablo, landed a $25,000 gutter clean for an HOA. TJ, 19K in a month. We got Matthias, $1,600 for an install for Christmas lights. So these are obviously some of the heavy hitters inside. And, we're just going to get straight into the training. So before we get too deep into like the Facebook ads and getting the actual leads and such, I want you to have the mindset of success. So you got to realize how much freaking abundance there is out here. There is millions, at least where I live, there's millions of homes that need servicing. These are people with money. We got to just find out people who have the money and make their lives a bit easier. They're not going to get up on their roof. They're not going to clean their gutters. There's dozens, if not hundreds of different like combinations of businesses that you could start. We got people doing, solar panel cleaning. I've seen cactus removal. I've seen all sorts of crazy stuff within the home service niche. And it's one of the best businesses to get into because obviously you can't really, you're not going to have AI like out completely take over. Like no one's going to be able to clean gutters. No, we're not going to have robots anytime soon. So it's a really great way to get into, start making money, start making 10K, 20K per month. And then you can kind of figure out exactly what you want to do from there. So, but keep in mind, there's so much money out there. There's abundance. And yeah, let's move on. So your only job right now is getting leads. So if you're starting your business, or even if you already have a business, you're already making some money, you got to realize nothing else works if you can't figure out how to get leads in. You are the business, and the work is never the hard part of any business. It's 90% of the business is marketing. If you don't have money coming in, you don't have a business. If you can't pay more money to get more leads in, you don't have a business. This is so fundamentally crucial because people get into, I'm in the pressure washing business. I'm in the window cleaning business. I'm in the roofing business. No, you're in the marketing business. You got to get your business, your name, your face, your offer in front of as many people as possible. And if you can figure this out, literally everything else is going to be 1,000 times easier. So getting straight into marketing, there's two different types. And so there's search, which is about 3% of the given market, and there's interruption, so 90% of the given population. Think about, anyone who needs a problem, or even yourself. Like, when was the last time you bought something? Were you really, was it from an ad, or was it something you actually searched out and needed? So basically, if you guys can check out this buying pyramid I put this in my book, there's only 3% of the market is ready to buy now. They're thinking about this problem, they have a problem, and they know that they want to solve it. So these people are going to go to Google, they're going to type in, I need this, my toilet's exploding, I need a tow truck, I need my gutters cleaned. And these are people who are very going to buy now. Yeah, words. I need some more coffee. But the problem with this, it's only 3% of the people. So we have interruption, which is 97% of the total market. And these are, obviously just basic numbers. Like, this isn't rule of law. Just something to keep in mind when you're advertising versus using Google and your website. Facebook allows us to go take people who are just scrolling on the internet. They're not really particularly buying, and we can pull them into our world, into our business, and put our offer in front of them. They weren't necessarily expecting it, but we have to bring them up this pyramid. You can see, 30%, they don't even think they're interested. 30% aren't even thinking about it. We got to get them into the open to it and then into the buying now. So we got to move them up the ladder. So that's kind of how I think about running ads and marketing. And a little bit more on search, like Google SEO, it is arguably the best way to get leads. Like, if you have a good website, you are quite literally getting free traffic. But the problem is, it can take years. I started my website back in 2020, and it took until 2023 to actually start getting any traffic. You can see before this is just a more recent screenshot. We weren't getting any search volume until all of a sudden now it's just exponential. It grows super quick. You got to think of it like planting a whole fruit orchard. Like, if you're planting trees, like the Chinese proverb says, the best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago. The second best time is now. So obviously, if you don't have your website up, get it up as soon as you can. But if you're trying to make more money, the best way is going to be using interruption. So getting more people as your website grows and builds, if that makes sense. But website is great, but it just takes way too long. So interruption, this is meta ads. This is, you can even think about this as, TV ads, door to door, any way you're like going and finding someone that needs something done. This is hard work, right? You have to, there's a lot of timing involved, right? Like if you're knocking doors, for example, you have to be in the right neighborhood at the right time. You have to knock on the right door. The person might not even be home. The person who's the decision maker might not even be home. Like you could be knocking on the door, there's someone home, they answer, it's the kid or something. Like there's just so many different things that have to happen. And same with Facebook ads. Sometimes a person might need to see an ad 7, 10, 15 times before they buy. I remember I recently just bought like this book and this course, and I saw that ad for the last like 2 weeks. I've seen it pretty much every day. So probably 20 plus times before I finally was like, okay, fine, I'm just going to buy this. And so they kind of worked me up the buying pyramid. You see how that works? And if you can correctly do this, this is one of the highest paid skills in the world. I'm not necessarily talking about just Facebook ads, but if you can write a TV ad, if you can write a Super Bowl ad, if you can write any sort of ad that gets people's attention and gets them to buy and work them up that pyramid, that's how you need to start thinking about running ads. And you can see, here's a screenshot from my ad profile. We're getting leads right now for around $4 to $5, which is really good. If you've never run Facebook ads before, that's really good. Ideally, I want to see most people around $10. $10 is pretty good, because then, if we're doing jobs for, let's say for easy math, $500, it might take you $50 to get 10 leads, right? If you're getting $10 or no, $50, 5 leads, $10 each, right? So 5 leads, we should be able to close one of those for at least, $300 to $500. So $50 to make 300 to 500. Those are kind of the numbers we need to work. Because then obviously if we're sending people out to do the job, if we're doing the job, we need to make some profit there. We don't want to spend, $400 on ads and make $100 in profit from the job, but you still have to go do the work, right? Doesn't quite work out. So get your messaging as low as possible, your cost per message. And the thing with Facebook is, if you do this right, like this ad in particular, I've started running this 2 months ago. I haven't had to touch this ad. I recently ran some new ads, but these other ones are still churning. They're still printing. I call it evergreen, because one of the interesting things, if you have a good Facebook ad, it can literally get better over time, because more people are clicking like, more people are commenting on it. Like some of these have a bunch of comments from customers. They're like, hey, these guys are awesome. And then they like the post, and it's an ad. So, more people are going to see that, and it can actually get better. The cost can go down over time, which is one of the craziest things when you think about marketing. Like usually things get more expensive. Usually the ad stops working, but I've seen it happen. It's currently happening right now. And it's one of the coolest things if you can crack it. So thinking about ads is like the ability to be able to hunt. You can go out, you can go fish, you can get food, provide for your family anytime. You have to go out and get it. But if you know how to get it, you can make a lot of money. So moving on to understand a little more about Facebook. Yeah, face is stuck. So here's one of those ads. And see, this one has like 10 comments. And we gotta think of Facebook's angle. How does Facebook make money? They make money by advertisers, people like you and me spending money on the platform. If we're spending 500,000, whatever buck, I know people who've spent, not necessarily in home service, but you can spend thousands of dollars per day on Facebook ads, and that makes Facebook very happy, because then they can continue to be a $1 billion company, all that sort of stuff. So they want you to spend money. So they're spending billions of dollars to perfect their algorithms. So basically the way it works is, if someone sees your offer, sees your ad, and they're like, oh, cool, click, I want to buy this. And let's say they don't even message you back. They click on it. Facebook knows, hey, we got to retarget this person. We got to show it to them. This is all hands off. You don't even have to do this stuff anymore. You used to have a retargeting campaign, but now Facebook can do all this for you. It's pretty crazy. And then let's say that person does end up, messaging you. You complete the job for them, whatever industry you're in. And now Facebook's like, so Steven bought and he lives over in this neighborhood. What if we show this same ad to every single one of Steven's neighbors? What would happen then? So we've literally done jobs where we've like all independently, we did a bunch of jobs in a single neighborhood because Facebook just showed us a bunch of people in that neighborhood. It's pretty cool. I mean, it's very logical when you think about it. Like, okay, if this person needs this, the neighbor next door might need it as well, right? So it's very, very good. And Facebook has spent a lot of money to make this very quick, very easy. So This is another reason why I don't do a ton of like Facebook ads coaching anymore. It's because it's very quick and easy to set up. Like you can literally just go out there, start running ads, and you can, play with it, play with the offer, play with the headline, all this sort of stuff. There's not a whole lot to do. You don't need a freaking, master's degree at running ads to be able to make this work, right? So the thing though with ads is we got to remember what we're doing. We got to get people. We're trying to find a stranger on the internet that wants to buy from us, right? At the end of the day, that's what it is. We got to put our offer in front of someone that actually wants it. And the reason like why your ads probably haven't worked in the past, or if you've ever tried to run ads, you're not using enough emotion. So I didn't click on the copy of that ad. That's what it's called. If you've never written an ad, the ad is called, that's the ad copy. So those are the words that we try and get someone to buy. So think of it like a salesman in print. Someone's reading this, think of what a salesman would say. That's kind of what you'd want to put in the ad. Like, oh, here's why you do this. And the thing with humans and with ads though, is people use emotion to buy. Almost everything is an emotional decision. We think of ourselves as these rational, logical beings, but we're really not. We are slaves to emotion, if you will. So if the ways we can do this is if we can trigger their dopamine, pair that with a good offer. If we can trigger people's dopamine, we don't see it like this picture right here. You wouldn't want to just say, we clean solar panels, have a good day. That I've seen people running ads, or we clean solar panels, 15% off. That doesn't really spark any sort of emotion. But instead, what we would say is become the shiniest house on the block. Have the most beautiful home. Get your solar panels clean, working efficiently. Have your home clean and safe. Like, we got to think of how we can trigger this emotion, or let's say we're doing roof cleaning, gutter cleaning. Protect your home and your family from water leaks, prevent costly damage. We got to think of all these different little angles that we can come out. We don't want to necessarily just come out with like 15% off. And I've seen some of those ads work before, but trust me, even if you throw a little bit of emotion in there, you had to have a good offer. You have a very sound, logical argument. Like, hey, do you need your gutters clean? Like 9 out of 10 roofs need this, right? But then you throw a little bit of emotion in there, like, hey, keep your family clean, keep your home clean and safe. Become the shiniest house on the block. Stuff like that really goes a long way. So trust me on that one. So, and then when it comes to running your actual ads, so once you've crafted some ads, put them out there. This is a thing that I get a lot of questions on. You need to run your ads like a military general. You can't be focused on, the day-to-day little moving around the ponds. You got to look at the numbers. If you're spending $50 a day, you need to just look at see how much money you're making back per day. If you're making $500, $1,000 plus per day, cool. Like, everything's good. But if you're not, that's when I would start shutting some of the ads off, because people get really nervous. I get it too. I've been there. Every time I click publish on an ad, I still get those butterflies in my stomach. I'm like, am I going to be flushing money down the toilet? Like, who knows? You could be spending $20, nothing happens, right? It's something in our brain just does not, it's the fear of loss, right? So we got to know our own emotion, and we got to not think with our emotion. We got to think with logic. Look at the numbers. We got to focus on putting $1 in our ads, getting $2 out, $3, $5, $10. So look at the numbers, make logical decisions based on, the data. So that's all I'll say about that. And then, because like we said earlier, if I can move my face around, once you're getting leads, everything becomes easier. There's literally endless options once you can get consistent leads. You can hire employees to do the work for you. You can subcontract it out. This is what I do. I just basically just send leads out to people who they send me a percentage of the job. You could run your own agency. We got guys inside my group doing this as well. You could sell the leads. I'm actually in a mastermind that does this. They call it like, becoming a digital landlord. You build a website, you get good at running ads, you get good at getting leads in the door. Let's say it's a concrete business. You just find a concrete company and then you send all the leads to them. You can make, $1,000 a month per client, $2,000 a month per client, get 10 of those, whoop-de-doo. So you could sell the leads, or, you could just do the work yourself. If you just want to have a little side hustle, we still have guys, they'll just do a couple jobs every, we have several people who are firefighters, they work 3 days on, 4 days off or something like that. So they go to the fire station for 3 days, and then in their days off, they do a couple pressure washing jobs. Life is good. So literally the second you can get consistent leads coming in, life gets so much better. Trust me. So, and this is part of, building your business around your life. You don't want to, most people get that backwards. They really build themselves a job. They have to focus on doing all the tasks themselves. They haven't done, and we're going to talk about this in a sec. We need to replace yourself with systems. So this is either tech or labor. We kind of spoke about that in a second. We can hire people to do the actual work for us. But we got to picture in your mind exactly what you want your business to bring. You do want to make this much money per month. Do you just want to have a side hustle? Do you want to have full time? Do you want to be able to sell the business in the future? You got to start thinking about that sort of stuff now, because trust me, everyone's like, sometimes you'll see like start $1 million business and like, here's how I run $1 million operation. And I've talked to a lot of those guys who have $1 million businesses, and it's a pain in the ass. Like, you just got to know what you're getting into. Of course, you can set it up right where you have automations and all this sort of stuff. But if you don't build it right from the beginning, you're gonna have a lot of work cut out for you. Because I know people who, like I said, they have massive businesses, but it's not as smooth. Like, that's revenue. That's not necessarily profit. So I'd rather have a very highly profitable business that's maybe smaller, but we're making way more profit. So, but we'll talk about replacing yourself in the next slide. So this is the software that we use. So the second you get leads coming into your business, we got to figure out what to do with them. So it's called, Go High Level. You guys probably heard of it, /Exterior Pro. That is our white label version of this. So this is kind of what like the screen looks. So basically we have this on my website. People, when they fill out a form, that when they call the phone number, it forwards to High Level, right? And then also same with Facebook. The second people fill out a lead form on Facebook or message us, it all comes in here. So this is where my guys, they can come in, they can look at all the messages. It kind of puts everything in one place. It's kind of like your office building. You can have other people answering the phone. You can have people, everyone kind of pools in here. So I really like it because you can, as you guys can see, yeah, you have all your contacts. You can, schedule, you can send out invoices, all this sort of stuff. Automation anytime. Let me see. I think I put that on the next slide. Yeah. So here's some of the things you can do. Then the things will kind of I don't want to spend too much time on this, but you can integrate your website. We already talked about that. Get a tracking phone number so that you don't want to have to answer the phone forever. Right now, if you're just starting your business, this is what I did for the first 3 years. I answered the phone. All the ads were my personal cell phone number, and that was cool. But after 3 years, I was like, okay, I don't want to answer the phone anymore. So I changed the number. Now I have a tracking number where I can see where the leads came from, and I can also outsource the phone call so other people can answer the phone, right? And then obviously leads in one place and invoices, blah, blah, blah. Moving on, tap to pay, invoices. You can schedule the work. You can automate reviews. The second you get a job done, your customer will get, it can text them, email, like, hey, would you like to leave us a review? You can have this in a sequence, building your list, following all that sort of stuff. Anyways, blah, blah, blah. So point is though, do I have that on the next slide? I'm trying to remember. But anyways, we'll talk about that in a sec. So pair this with getting the work done. That's the labor. So labor and tech. I want to kind of you to think just how can you get things to do more work? That's basis of leverage, right? So get some more coffee here. Once you figure out a little bit of these things, once you get leads coming in, the rest is simple math. How much do you want to make per month? How much money do you need to spend per day on ads? How many ads you need to run? All this sort of things. It becomes a lot easier. Like, trust me, we're spending like $50 a day on ads right now. This is kind of the level that we need to keep all the guys busy. This is how much money that I've determined is, like I said, you could spend $100, $200 per day on ads and have a frick ton of leads. But, that's also a lot of work. I'd rather just keep it small, profitable. I can obviously do many other things like businesses like this, grow the software business, all that sort of stuff. So that's just my personal goals. So you got to think about what are your personal goals and how you're going to get there. So, and another good thing about, software and keeping track is now your business is scalable. If you don't need to be there for day to day, this is how I was able the last 6 weeks. Like, I went to Mexico for 3 weeks and then we took 2 weeks off. I didn't touch a single tool. I didn't answer a single phone call for 6 weeks. My guys took care of everything, right? Like, you can't do that if you're just an owner operator. You don't have people working for you. You don't have software. Like, these things, you just can't do it. And this makes your business way more sellable because now you have an asset that actually grows without your direct input, right? So so to wrap everything up, I want you to spend some time. Yeah, this freaking thing, man. So spend some time like writing down, thinking about where you want your business to take you. How much money do you want to make per month? How much money do you need to quit your job? All these sort of things. Spend some time imagining what it would take to get there. And then put the systems in place to do so. Start from the ground up. Use tech and labor to replace yourself. Because obviously, no matter what it is you do, we all get into this business, whatever business, for more freedom. We want more time. We want more money. And we want to spend we don't want to have to do things that we don't want to do, right? Like that's what life is about. So that is today's training. So, and lastly, if you guys want access to that exact software that I use at a third of the price of normal, check out Exterior Pro. I don't care if you guys use this software, use something like literally keep track, be able to have automations. Obviously, like the $99 right now. This is if you go straight to high level, it's $297 per month, I believe. As CJ called out, this is yeah, we do. So we also have a networking group. You guys have probably seen some of the screenshots. We got guys in there. You'll be able to see the ads that are working in just about every 50 states. You can pick the brains of other people doing $10,000 to $40,000 plus per month, all this sort of stuff. So info to that is down below. See you guys in the next training. Let me know if you have any questions, comments, concerns. Actually, there's one more slide. So that is it. Remember, you should be building a business that serves you. At the end of the day, that's what this is all about. Get good at marketing ads, and you can do pretty much anything in life, and then automate and replace yourself as much as possible. So that is it. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, have a great day. See you there. Peace.